My name's Heather. I'm the music director here at the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. I want to welcome you to March, coming in like a lion, obviously. Wow. All right, let's stand and sing this song in this pink sheet inside your program. It's called Right Here and Right Now. Woo! Oh, yeah.
Thank you. You guys are great. This is the best group. On behalf of Reverend Donna and the Board of Trustees, I am privileged to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual path, you will be, truly welcome here. Here you will be validated and supported and encouraged to be all that you're meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action, every day, in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You'll find our Declaration of Principles in the back of your program. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. But Amy and John, do you want to say where you came from?
Sure. We came here from the Idaho, from the Sun Valley area. All right.
Thanks for showing up. Well, we all know from past experience that our friends visit us a lot of times in the winter. So you feel free to bring them when they come to visit. Do we have any other people? Yes. No, wait. Wait. Doug. And Tammy. Thank you. Do you want to tell us where you're from?
We're from Bellingham, Washington. We're from Sherry. Sherry and I have been best friends since second grade.
Holy mackerel.
Years now.
Wow.
Looking forward to this, and thank you all for such a wonderful welcome. I appreciate that.
Oh. crazy about stories. Thank you. Thank you for such a heartfelt.
Thanks for letting me share it, because
Oh, yeah. Yes. So thank you. Thank you. Wow. I would like to thank those who are assisting to us to make all of this happen this morning, the annual meeting, the yummies that we can't stay away from, the music, the upcoming fulfillment to our soul from Reverend Donna. Just everybody here has done something. Gray, I wouldn't forget Gray. He makes all the sound in the pictures. Thank you all. Thank you all. Please direct your attention to the announcements in the bulletin. Okay, turn your Oh, that was dramatic. Turn your telephones off, please. Computers, iPads, iPods, anything you have. Dixie cup phones. I used to have a Dixie cup phone. I was rural too. All right. Close everything down except your hearts for the rest of this time. Thank you all.
I loved that, Marianne. Close everything down except your heart. Oh. We're going to keep that forever. That was good. And I'd like to invite John up to ring the bells that signal the start of our service today. If you are visiting with us today, I want to invite you to the first page of your program where our Namaste song is. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. How is everybody? Seems like we have a very happy group here. Seems like that happens every Sunday. You know, you can feel the love. So thank you for letting me come up here. I know Donna probably holds her breath and wonder what I'm going to do next. Donald Green, you should have reminded us that St. Patty's Day is coming. Thank you for wearing your green. And Heather, too. Look at that.
You can't pinch me. 365.
Okay, let's take a breath. As we come together this beautiful Sunday morning, all of our senses are heightened as we celebrate the coming of spring and all its beauty and wonder. We give thanks for the many gifts that Spirit showers upon us, both large and small. We are all one in the divine here and now, and it is evidenced by the love and care that is palpable in our center this morning. Thank you, God, for every heart that beats in love and peace this morning, here and throughout the world. And so it is. So I light this candle as a symbol of the divine light that lives in each one of us. And I will take that candle over to the prayer table later as I hold the high watch. My talk today, I think, was it another practitioner, I can't remember who. I think it was you, Judy, that read something from Francis Scovel Shinn. Well, I really loved what you read, and so I bought the book, and it's The Complete Works of. And Francis Scovel Shinn lived 1871 to 1940. She passed away at 69 years old. She was an artist and an illustrator early on, and in her middle years, she began to write and teach. Was a New Thought spiritual teacher. So this is the complete works of Francis Scovel Shinn. I recommend it highly. She quotes the Bible a lot in here, but brings the spiritual message from it, and it's really wonderful. So this is the book. You can get it on Amazon. Surprise. Surprise. I've chosen something called The Watchman at the Gate. It says, Also I set the watchman over you, saying, Hearken to the sound of the trumpet. Jeremiah 6:17. Her message is, we must all have a watchman at the gate of our thoughts. The watchman at the gate is the superconscious mind. We have the power to choose our thoughts. Since we have lived in the race thought for thousands of years, it seems almost impossible to control them. They rush through our minds like stampeding cattle or sheep. But a single sheepdog can control the frightened sheep and guide them into the sheep pen. I saw a picture in the newsreels of a shepherd dog controlling the sheep. He had rounded up all but 3. These 3 resisted and resented. They bawed at him and lifted their front feet in protest. But the dog simply sat in front and never took his eyes off them. He did not threaten. He just sat and looked in determination. In a little while, the sheep tossed their heads and went into the pen. We can learn to control our thoughts in the same way, by gentle determination, not force. We take an affirmation and repeat it continually while our thoughts are on the rampage. We cannot always control our thoughts, but we can control our words. And repetition impresses the subconscious, and we are then master of the situation. In the 6th chapter of Jeremiah, we read, I set a watchman over you, saying, Hearken the sound of the trumpet. Your success and happiness in life depend upon the watchman at the gate of your thoughts. For your thoughts, sooner or later, crystallize in the external. Thoughts are things, thoughts are things, thoughts are things. I remember when I was in practitioner classes, it was like those were just words. Thoughts are things, thoughts are things. And then one day, it made the 14-inch travel from my head to my heart, and it was like, oh my God, it's true. So we need to be careful and create only beautiful things in our lives. Okay, what next? What's next? Oh, I want to talk about Brene Brown's book and the class that's coming up on Fridays. It's a magnificent book. It is filled with wonderful information that will lead you to a happier, peaceful, healthier life. Guaranteed. The foreword in this book is longer than any one I've ever seen in my life. I read it. But you know what it did? It made me feel like Brene Brown was a friend of mine. And she revealed her life, her vulnerabilities, which translates to her courage. And Melinda did that last Sunday when she took a chance. So I recommend it highly. I recommend the book. It talks about our feelings. Happy, sad, mad, glad, afraid. You know, there are thousands of feelings. And this reveals so many of them and helps us become aware of our feelings. So come along, everybody. Sign up and do this. All the practitioners, whoever's available, will be together with you at the classes. So it's going to be lots of fun and lots of magnificent revealing. So sign up or else. Okay, I'm going to take this now and hold the high watch. Please know that, what is this? Practitioners are the blank arm of the church. You got it. So that's what we do, and it is our pleasure and our privilege to treat for you affirmative prayers that we repeat. So thank you, Frances Scoville Shin, for this wonderful book that she wrote so long ago. And here it is today, and it applies to us all. Thank you.
This is a song by Kathy Ryan, a good Irish girl. And it's based on one of my favorite Irish blessings. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your fields. May the rain fall softly upon your face. And until we meet again, may the Lord hold you in the palm of his hand. Isn't that beautiful? Summertime, the sun would shine. We lay out in the field, sheltered in the shadow of a tree. We'd write our songs to take along and sing out on the road, and you would always sing this song to me. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be at your back. May the sun shine warm down upon your land. May the rain fall soft upon your face until we meet again. And may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. And if my younger brother were here, he plays Baroque instruments. That was one of the things we did in college together, as a matter of fact. We were in Baroque music club together. And he plays recorders. He plays tin whistle, penny whistle. So I'd have him do the solo right here. Autumn leaves would leave the trees and colors on ground, swirling patterns beautiful to see. I'd lay my head upon your lap, I would not make a sound, and you would always sing this song to me. May the road rise to meet you, may the wind be at your back, may the sun shine down warm upon your land, may the rain fall soft upon your face until we meet again, and may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. Winter days the tree would shiver in the wind, waiting for the warming touch of spring. You'd hold me in the firelight, we'd stare into the flames. This is what you always used to sing. May the road rise to meet you, may the wind be at your back, may the sun shine down warm upon your land, may the rain fall soft upon your face until we meet again, and may God hold you in the hollow of his hand, and may God hold you in the hollow of his hand.
What a beautiful and perfect song. Good morning. I've chosen All Things New as our theme, and usually Rosie and I connect by phone to make sure we're saying the same thing, but we didn't, and we are. So, I know, we didn't. But All Things New seems so appropriate because it feels like the world is coming out of its winter shell. You know, the yellow, I don't know if you've noticed the yellow flowers on the vines out here, it's filled with these beautiful black swallowtail butterflies. And that's just really, to me, a sign of spring, a sign of all things new. The buds are on the trees, the lizards are emerging from their winter hibernation. And I think, I haven't seen the baby quail, but I'm sure they're on their way. This is about the time that we do. And even here at the center, our numbers are beginning to grow back a bit as people are feeling more comfortable attending our services in person. So, Emily Dickinson calls March the month of expectation. And I feel like our celebration song tells us that we are standing at a threshold of a brand new start. So I don't know what that looks like, but I'm excited to be here to watch it unfold. And then to go along with our theme for the month, All Things New, our topic this morning is filled with promise. As Rosie said, next Sunday marks the first day of spring, and everything in nature graces us with its beauty during this time of the year. Yeah, I'm not a gardener, but I was listening to Susan Clutis talk about her gardens. and how she nourishes her gardens and how much pleasure they give her. And her flowers bloom longer than other flowers because she takes really good care. She knows what to do to nourish them. So I was thinking about that and the idea that seeds are part of the spring planting and part of what we do, that each seed is a promise of new growth. But there's work for a gardener to do in order for those seeds to fulfill their promise. The gardener doesn't have to make the seeds grow. The seeds know what to do and how to do it. But the gardener does have the responsibility of nurturing the seed, of providing the best environment in which it can grow and flourish. And you and I are gardeners of our life. Every day we sow hundreds of thought seeds into our mind and heart. See, I wasn't lying, just like Rosie said. So every thought is a seed, and within that seed there is the potentiality for growth, for fruition. So when you and I work with that law of mind, we need to think like a gardener. In his parable of the sower, Jesus talks about the seeds that we sow. He said, behold, a sower went forth to sow, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. Some fell upon stony places where they had little earth. When they sprang up, because they had no deepness of earth, the sun scorched them, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground and brought forth their fruit. So when his disciples asked him to explain this parable, he told them that the seeds that fell by the wayside were devoured by birds were like those who don't care about their spiritual growth. They're interested in other things, they just don't care. So even though we may sow some seeds, they're not going to grow. They're going to be devoured. And if you and I choose to ignore some pretty important aspects of our spiritual life, like thoughts or things, then we have no control over the nurturing of those thoughts. Without taking an active part in their nurturing, or in the nurturing of our ideas, they're simply going to be swallowed up and moved back into that sea of unlimited potential. The seeds that fall on stony places and could not take root are the desires of our heart. We're initially enthusiastic and willing to follow our spiritual path, but then something happens and we lose interest, or we don't trust ourselves, or we don't trust our God source, and our belief in our desires is not deep enough to sustain them. The seeds that fall among thorns are those ideas that we have given up because we've listened to others, or others who have demeaned our idea, causing us to discard it as absurd or unattainable. There's a little story in the Four Agreements about a little girl who was singing, and her mother had a headache and asked her to stop, and then she would forget and she'd sing again. And finally, her mother said, I don't remember the exact words, but it was something terrible, like, I hope you never sing again. And the little girl shut up and never sang again. And you can't take back those words. You can't take them back. They're done. And yet, look what it did to this little child. So in order for our thought seeds to fall into good soil, we need to understand and learn to use the law of cause and effect. We need to know that the experiences in our life begin as thoughts, ideas, and beliefs. They don't begin anywhere else. We need to know that every desire we have is a God whisper. And latent within that desire is everything that is needed to bring it into our experience. Emily Cady in Lessons in Truth says, remember this, desires in the heart for anything is God's sure promise sent beforehand to indicate that it is yours already in the limitless realm of supply, and whatever you want, you can have for the taking. We need to trust in something greater than we are so that our desire is not spoiled by self-doubt or the doubts of others. We must know that the innermost desires of our heart are truly God's promises to us. Our reason for being, you and me, is to bring these promises to fruition to realization, because this is our way of becoming greater expressions of our God self and our God nature. Dennis Merritt Jones in The Art of Being says, an unattended mind can create havoc for you because your mind is amazingly receptive to whatever suggestions may be dropped into it. It has been said that the subconscious mind cannot take a joke. This simply means that whatever is introduced to it, it takes as serious instruction to grow that thought seed into a full-blown plant. Be it a rose or a weed, it doesn't care. Just like the receptive potting soil in my flower box, the subconscious mind says yes to all seeds planted, positive or otherwise. So when you stop and consider how many thought seeds are blown, dropped, or purposely planted in your mind on a daily basis, it may cause you to tend your mental garden with a bit more regularity. So you and I are gardeners of our soul. We have been endowed with the responsibility of tending our mind so that those thought seeds that we are sowing are beautiful, fulfilling, filled with love and joy, and they spring unencumbered to full growth. Tending a garden requires effort, and so does tending our mind. I found a lovely poem written in 1912 by Christian Larson in Your Forces and How to Use Them. It's called Promise Yourself, which later became the Optimist's Creed. And it's a perfect assignment for us, I think, if we're going to live with joy and to be that wonderful expression that we are. So he says, promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet, to make all your friends feel that there is something special in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true, to think of only the best, to work only for the best, and expect only the best, to be as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own, to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to greater achievements of the future, to wear a cheerful countenance at all times, and give every living creature you meet a smile, to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others, to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. So I want to expand on these a bit and see how we can actually use them. Promise yourself to be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Wow. You know, it's really hard this time when you look at the news and stuff to not be disturbed. And yet I found some, if you read the e-news, I found something that truly touched my heart. And that was this couple in their fatigues, their assault weapons propped against a wedding cake table. She's got a bouquet and a bridal veil, and they're getting married. And I thought, you know, this is what this stuff is all about, really. The human heart can hold all of that, the devastation of war, the need to protect your country, and the love of a new promise, a new sent, I do, I love you, all at once. All at once. You know, what amazing creatures we are. And sometimes we forget that. And sometimes we don't allow that music from the heart to come forward. Let's see. Let's see what he said. Oh, Ernest Holmes said, if there's anything we need, it's peace of mind. And without it, life is not worthwhile. Peace comes only when there's a personal sense of security, the sense of security that comes when there is a sense of belonging to the universe. And when we can fully embody the idea that we are sourced from pure love, pure intelligence, and pure power, and so is everybody else, then we no longer fear the world. Promise yourself to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. The more we can move our conversations, the ones that are in our head, and then the conversations we have with others, into health, happiness, and prosperity, the more of those seeds we are sowing. So I think you and I have, because we know about the law of mind and how it works, that we have a responsibility to turn the conversation when it becomes dark and filled with doom and gloom. We have a responsibility to find that love that's within that and change the conversation. And if we can't do that, to excuse ourselves from it. So in our interactions with others, our talk can uplift the world or bring it down. Our thoughts don't just stay in one place, like seeds that blow on the winds or are carried by the birds. What we focus our attention on influences the consciousness of the entire planet. Promise yourself to make all your friends feel that there is something special in them. You know, our friends are our teachers, our mentors, our source of strength. They each have something unique and special in them that enhances our life. And we often don't take the time to tell them. It takes just a little effort to make a phone call, write a note, or an email telling somebody how important they are to us. Not only do they feel special when we do that, but we are uplifted in the process. Promise yourself to look at the sunny side of everything and make your optimism come true. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "There can be no excess to love, none to knowledge, none to beauty, when these attributes are considered in the purest sense. The soul refuses all limits. It affirms in us always an optimism and never a pessimism." So when you and I can move into that place in our heart where we are optimistic about our life, when we see the sunny side of things, then things do change for us. Eric Butterworth in Spiritual Economics says, always get the view from the top. Before you react in negativity to people, conditions, or things, take a moment to lift up your eyes unto the hills. Contemplate all the challenging, changing experiences from that highest point of view. So regardless of the appearances of conflicts or limitations, see all things from the awareness of the allness of life and the ever-presence of substance. From the view from the top, you will see things creatively leading to an attitude that is constructive and optimistic. So my mother, when I was a little girl, my mother said to always count to 10 if I got mad before I said anything, you know. And I think that's a good idea. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and look to the skies. Look to that higher view, and then respond. Promise yourself to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. When we are optimistically seeing the sunny side of life, we are automatically thinking of the best in any situation. And when we come from that view from the top, we see the best in ourselves and in others. And what we see and believe in are the seeds that we're sowing, so that the best shows up for us as an automatic reaction to the seed that we have planted. Promise yourself to be as enthusiastic about the success of others as you are about your own. How we feel about someone else's success is a barometer for our own attitude of gratitude. It's a wonderful way to see what fears or insecurities we might be harboring. If someone we know wins the lottery, can we be just as enthusiastic for them as if we had won it for ourselves? And if not, perhaps we are seeing the world in terms of limitation rather than abundance. I know that sometimes we used to look at the at the UUs, and their parking lot was full and ours wasn't, you know. and people come in and say, how come theirs is full and ours isn't? And I said, we can't do that. That hurts. What we can see is, thank God that the UU parking lot is full, and thank God everybody here is here. You know, so let's see. Anyway, let's see. Promise yourself to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to greater achievements in the future. You know, our joy is hampered when we're engulfed in the mistakes of the past, or those experiences that have been painful to us. Jack Addington in Your Needs Met tells us, know that right this moment, all of the past is released. It has no power over you. Recognize the mistakes of the past for what they were, efforts to do the best that you knew at the moment. All of the slights of the past, times when you have seemed to have been rejected, are now released and forgiven. If there was anyone else involved, know that they too were doing the best they knew at the moment. The past is released. Tomorrow will have within it all that is necessary for the fullness of that day. You know, when we realize that the seed thoughts that we sow today become the experiences of our life tomorrow, we know that we have to release the mistakes of the past, or we're simply going to recreate them in another form. Promise yourself to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. I read an article on the internet that said it takes 44 muscles to frown and 17 to smile. So if you want to keep your face pretty, smile. You know? And then the article went on to say that people in the study who were told to smile, even when they didn't particularly feel like it, felt better and happier than the people who were told to frown. And the same study also reported that people looking at pictures of smiling or frowning people were apt to mimic the smile or the frown of the picture and felt the emotions associated with it. So the more we can smile, even if it's out there to nobody, somebody's going to pick it up. Somebody's going to pick it up. Promise yourself to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. You know, I believe again that if we're counting our blessings and if we keep our mind stayed on the love and abundance of the universe, then we can't help but be the recipients of blessings of love and abundance. And when they're in that space, who's got time to criticize anyone or anything? Christian Larson's final promise. Promise yourself to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. So if we've taken care to embody the other promises, then this one's a given. If we're planting seed thoughts of love, generosity, kindness, tolerance, beauty, and love, then these seeds, grounded in good soil, will sprout and grow into our garden of experience. I want to close with a letter that I found on the internet from Mother Teresa, and I don't know to whom she was speaking, but I think she speaks to all of us. My dear, life is a promise we will experience all that it has to give, a promise that we shall love, cry, laugh, and eventually die, that we shall not worry about tomorrow or contemplate too much about yesterday, and that we shall experience today and all its beautiful moments. Life is a promise. Fulfill it. Thank you. Namaste.
Get clapping. While I get myself together, yeah. the good that is for me. That's it. I am open to receive all the good that is for me. I am open to receive perfect love and harmony. I am open to receive lavish, rich prosperity. I am open to receive all the good that is for me. Yeah. And there's even a lower melody line than that if you'd like to learn it. I am open to receive all the good that is for me. I am open to receive perfect love and harmony. I am open to receive lavish, rich prosperity. I am open to receive all the good that is for me. Oh yeah. I am open to receive all the good that is for me. I am open to receive perfect love and harmony. I am open to receive lavish, rich prosperity. I am open to receive all the good that is for me. Do you guys like it? All right. Let's sing it one more time, and then we'll move on. I heave all the good that is for me. I am open to receive perfect love and harmony. I hear that harmony. I am open to receive lavish, rich prosperity. I am open to receive all the good that is for me.
Oh, thank you for finding that one. I like it. Okay. It's time for our offering. And I ask that you join me in our offering affirmation on the left-hand side of our bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
Thank you, God, for everything. 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 Thank you, God, for everything.
So I know right now that there is one power and presence, and that power and presence is pure life, pure joy, pure harmony, and pure peace. I know that we have the opportunity to speak our word, and our word has power because it is the power of God through us. So right here and now, I speak my word for Rosie, that every fiber of her being responds to the words that we speak, and that there is a harmony in every vein, in every heartbeat, to know that all is well, all is good. I speak my word for anyone having any kind of a challenge, to know that right where that challenge is, God is. And I speak my word for this planet, for the peace of this planet, for the coming together of miracles that we have no idea, but we know that it's possible. I give thanks for our center and for being a place of love and hope and joy, a sangha. And I know that we are blessed beyond measure. And so I simply give thanks for our time together and to allow it to be, as we say together, and so it is.